Hi, Virgo and dog people. I can hear a dog barking in the background. Very quick Celtic cross for you. Internally, what are you feeling? The Lovers and the Queen of Wands. How is that making you act on the outside world, in the outside world? The King of Wands. Wow, counterparts right out of the... So the Lovers and then a pair. Cool. What's at the basis? Oh my lord, I've never seen anything like this. The Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Have you guys just fallen in love, or are you just about to? How amazing. Or is there just a very, very good relationship in your life? It could be a friendship, could be a love relationship, a work relationship even. Something from the recent past. Wow, the Tower. That's not what I was expecting to see, but it doesn't matter, it's in the past, and it was short and sharp. And something coming up, a potential outcome. The Nine of Wands. Interesting. And something for the near future. The Five of Cups. And your attitude, the Page of Wands. So much intense wandy energy here. Wands and Cups. Your environment, Page of Pentacles. Well, he would be very welcome at the moment. And the Wheel of Fortune. Excuse me. Your hopes and fears. This is a very intense, too many reading. Your hopes and fears. Virgo, dog people and dog people. Your hopes and fears. Your hopes and fears. Two, and they're sort of very spread out. One is the Four of Pentacles, and the other is the High Priestess. Love it. They were kind of jumped away from each other on the bench that I'm sitting at, which I think is symbolic of their different positions. So your hopes and fears, you're in two minds and an outcome. Queen of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. I like that combination with what we see going on here. Bit of sword energy coming in to sort of control this unbelievably passionate lot that we've got on your spread, of energies that we've got in your spread. So at the basis, we're talking about a really beautiful partnership that leads to lifelong security, kind of heritage building, long-lasting building of community and wealth. But really, it's also a family. It's everything one sort of is traditionally encouraged to want. How many majors have we got? 3, 4. So it's quite high on majors. Anyway, the energy is just so punchy. Internally, we see you as the Lovers and the Queen of Wands. So the Lovers is about divine partnership and a union. And we can't help but see that very clearly here when we also then have the King and Queen of Wands right next to each other, one over the top of the other, and then the Two of Cups in the basis of the reading. I think it would be very unusual if we weren't talking about how to form a partnership, an alliance, a passionate alliance that builds wealth. Now, it could well be at work. It could be a work partnership we're talking about. It could obviously be love. It could also, with the Lovers, mean that you're being offered a very passionate choice. And inside, you feel very intuitive about this. She's the intuitive queen, black cat, open legs in this masculine stance. She's the rebel queen. She does what's good for her. She's the kind of mother that kind of pushes her kids to experience things but doesn't mollycoddle them. Although she's ferociously loyal, she's a good teacher. So you're intuitively wanting take this offer, to find this partnership. And how this makes you act in the outside world is with the King of Wands, which is to go out with a dynamic, fresh, go-getty energy to try and look for this or make this work. I feel like you're aligned with this idea. It's such a beautiful start. What am I seeing? His red dotty headpiece and the flames around his crown today. Sometimes I just like to see what pops out. So we've got this divine union, and then in the basis of the reading, a perfect partnership and sort of generational wealth. These are both stage cards. Here we see the two lines, and here at the bottom, when we turn it upside down, we see the two stage cards. They indicate a stage of life, a moment, a phase of being. It's almost like what I'm getting the images of, all the cogs of the wheels starting to sort of grip and work properly and go towards something that you really want. The caduceus, this is sort of Mercury's sign going in between the two of them, love messages. They're very different, these two characters. One is wearing kind of leopard print, the other in her serene robes. It's a melding of opposites, potentially. It's so fruitful. It's just so fruitful, this energy, that what we're trying to go after. But then we get a little bit of complication. In the recent past, something that you've tried to do has been built on the wrong foundations, and it's given you a short, sharp shock. Now, if you're the kind of person who reacts to that with get up and go, and off we go, maybe you even were pleased that something was pulled down. It could be an old relationship, an old partnership, an old work situation that you wanted out of. Yeah, strange. I'm seeing in the bottom here like a shadowy figure that I've never really noticed before, as if somebody could have actually created this, a bit like a Guy Fawkes, could have created this explosion. And coming up as the potential outcome, another stage card, these double lines. You've got quite a lot of them. It's like you're sort of rapidly moving through phases, is feeling a little bit beleaguered. Now, that wouldn't be surprising if you've just been through a short, sharp shock. You're going to feel a bit defensive. You're going to have your defenses up. You're bandaged. You're the wounded healer. You're not going to let anyone get anything over you. So is this the block that we've got going on? Has something really beautifully been offered to you, this divine choice? And is it actually that there's been something in the recent past that makes you a little bit wary? So that is one potential outcome. You might feel a little bit defensive about this incredible outpouring of creative energy, of partnership, of intuitively wanting to go into some sort of partnership and building something with a group of people or a person that then leads to this generational wealth. In the near future, we see you still focusing on this tower. You're still focusing on that moment. You're not looking at these two cups, and we've got the two cups in the basis. You're not realizing how important this offer is that's just been made to you, how beautiful this could be for you. You're still worrying about this big shock that you had. You need to, in order to get into the sort of Four of Wands. There's a little white bridge in that one as well. And Four of Wands is the stable partnership. It means marriage. It means good partnership in all sorts of ways. It's stability. And in order to get there, you need to turn around and look at these two cups. So there's a sense in which your defensiveness is sort of making you blind to something quite amazing that's happening to you, or potentially could happen to you at any moment. In your attitude, yeah, you have got this excitement. You know, you're like the kid of the King and Queen of Wands, the page. You are very creative and excited by what's going on in life, and you're looking at the tip of your wand for inspiration. So there might be lots of messages of passionate, excited projects, work coming to you. And I think your natural way of being is very creative and wandy, and it's just reminding you that that's who you are. But I'm pleased to see him there, because he's going to not be cynical and depressed. He's too excited by life. So he is going to get you through. That Wandy energy is going to push you through. In your environment, we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the the Knight of Pentacles, which says that there is a steady, persistent push to change happening here. So usually we say jump in to affect the change in the Wheel of Fortune, but here I think there's just thing upon thing happening, grinding this Wheel of Fortune round in a very sort of consistent way that lets me know it's what should happen, that this is required now, because the Knight of Pentacles is a good custodian of anything that he's looking after, and I believe that this change is being forced by your inner world, or by what should happen, and it will be a good one, and it's just going to keep coming, this sense of change, so I don't think you can resist it. In your hopes and fears, as I said, these two jumped in separate parts of the bench very dramatically. One is, I want to stay stuck, I don't want to move. Another, stage cards, I'm happy with my small little existence, I can't cope. This is all too much. I've had disappointments in the past. It's very defensive, like the Nine of Wands that we see in your potential outcome. And the other is, I'm happy to soften and use the intuition that we see turning up in the Queen of Wands. And I'm happy to allow my intuitive senses to lead me to the truth of the situation, and open. I mean, she's the absolute opposite. She's completely open to what is really going on. She's got all of her spidey senses working, and she will move fluidly into this new period. So you are hoping for that, but you're frightened that your fear is going to keep you stuck, and I understand that. But then we get to this lovely pragmatic finish, which is of the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So finally we see a useful sword being raised. We haven't got any other swords, where your brain becomes really engaged, your clear thinking, strategist, intelligence. She's enormously intelligent, she's enormously positive, but truthful in her thoughts. This sword of truth that she raises. What can I see going on here? She looks a little bit nervous, you know, as if something's coming towards her, but she's saying, come on, I can work this out, I can do this. And then we see her paired with this Eight of Pentacles, which shows you committing to the new start, doing the work that's needed to bring this about. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying this new union, this new partnership, this new work project, this new creative endeavour. It feels so fruitful, and now you are loving and honing your skill. You're the artisan. So I think that's a very, very good end, because you don't remain stuck. We're just going to pull a couple of extra cards firstly from the Enchanted Forest deck, which is a tarot deck, but it's quite whimsical. It's all set in an enchanted forest. Who have we got here? Moonlight. Oh, this is the one with all the hairs. So this is the Moon card, which would be akin to the High Priestess. It's saying, you know, really try and focus on her, because you have to use this intuition, the intuition of the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands. This is what's going to get you through. So 13. No. Put 18. Of course it's 18. It's just before the sun. Okay, here we go. Moonlight. At a glance, the meaning is secrecy and mystery, the dream world, intuition, something's hidden. And then it says, how many hairs can you see here? Now, it'll be difficult for you to see, but there are lots of hairs hidden in the water in the background. So what it's saying is there are hidden details, and that you need to use that intuition. Who dares go into the forest when the moon is full? Who would follow the luminous paths to the gazing pool? The forest is a different place by moonlight. What's familiar by day becomes illusory with the moon when the moon is full. The sound of the night can be eerie, haunting, filling you with nameless longing. Moonbeams shift down through the branches, silvering the sylvan glade. Hares go mad in the moonlight, wild with lunatic ecstasy. They dance and leap. They suddenly stand motionless, frozen, bewitched. They return to themselves when the dawn breaks, most of the time. It's said that those who sleep in the moonlight either go mad or become poets. The poet Byron wrote, "There is a dangerous silence in that hour, a stillness which leaves room for the full soul, to open all itself without the power of calling wholly back its self-control." Perhaps our lives are but a dream and we are all as mad as moon hares. Even the most pragmatic cannot deny the magic of the night. When the moonlight shines upon your reading, take it as a sign to let intuition rule over logic for a time. Pay attention to your dreams, which may be full of portents. Spend time outside in the darkness with no intention other than to be open to the mystery. So though we see you ending on a card of pure logic, what the cards are wanting you to do is open up to the slight madness of this incredible creative union of all this passion and follow your intuition somewhat. Don't belittle it. There's something quite incredible happening in your interior and exterior world, and the basis of the reading really is about a beautiful union, and it could be the union of logic and intuition, but it also could be that you have to delve into these intuitive depths in order to create this kind of lasting wealth. It could be that the people who are mad like the hares in this card, who follow those ideas that you get when you're on a plane, or those deep intuitive hits that you sometimes get, and then create something. They're the visionaries that end up creating for us as a community and for themselves as well. So in this work that you're going to have to bring some hard discipline and logic to, do not forget the intuition, is what the cards are saying. That High Priestess, she's important. And a card from the Shining Tribe deck, which is from Rachel Pollock. Again, a tarot deck. The Eight of Trees. I love this one. She's a crazy lady jumping over burning trees. I mean, she's not crazy, she's just flying. Again, a slightly altered state. So, Eight of Trees. I think that's the Eight of Wands. Here we go. At a glance. Emotions or situations out of control, anger or pain, freedom, confidence in times of danger or collapse, the need to leave a situation that cannot be salvaged. So confidence in times of collapse, in danger of collapse, is what I said right at the beginning when I said you've just had the Tower, but I see you sort of springing confidently out of it, like this figure. It's very interesting to me. That's a very particular type of reaction. It's good. It's not depression. It's wonderful. I love that. So we see the destructive side of fire in this card. The card also shows us how we can, so fire being all of these wands that I think you're a bit frightened of. The card also shows us that we do not have to remain in terrible situations. We can choose freedom. Well, we know you've done that. The ground is barren except for the trees, and the fire has ravaged all but two of them. The house, the eighth tree, is on fire, with flames leaping out of the windows. At the same time, a golden-haired figure soars through the sky, leaping above the destruction and danger. One tree and one bush remain green and whole. The Eight of Trees symbolizes situations out of control, bringing the unwelcome fires of anger or pain. It may indicate a time when plans or structures in our lives seem to burn up around us like the Tower, and yet the card and the situation it symbolizes are less pessimistic than they seem. It's sort of what I was saying. It's strangely optimistic for a time when you've just got through this Tower. The green tree and the bush represent the qualities and experiences which have taken root in our life that cannot be destroyed in its time of crisis. It may seem like everything is burned out of control and nothing can survive. What really matters to us, however, will survive. The leaping figure represents our ability to free ourselves from destruction by an act of will. It tells us that we do not have to remain in a burning house. It comes from a prehistoric city in Turkey, this leaping figure. In many years since I've drawn this card, the joyous figure in the sky has taken on more and more significance. For people in a bad marriage, a hopeless job, or especially any kind of abuse situation, the Eight of Trees sends a strong message. Leave now, don't stay in a burning house. You can't put out the fire, but you don't have to remain. Free yourself. Wow, so that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I'm going to take one more card. You know, maybe you have just escaped from something a bit abusive. And that's what this is about. You're escaping from all that passion. But no, we can see that you're trying to build good a good partnership at the basis of the reading. So I just think that you are resilient in the face of some sort of upset in the recent past. Could we have one more card of advice? Or okay, two again. Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. So that's wonderful, the two eights. So what we say when we see the Eight of Swords is usually we need the Ace of Swords to unbind her from her self-defeating, worrying, self-victimizing behavior. You've got the Queen of Swords, and you've got the Queen of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles right at the end of your reading. So if there is any residual worry, remember that flying figure. You don't have to stay where it is burning, but there are things that have remained intact. There are these bushes that can't be changed because they're truly yours. And you can, in moments of worry and feeling defensive, you can raise this sword of truth that will unbind your negative thinking and get you into your true life's work, because it's here and you've been offered that partnership. And follow your intuition, but then use logic to keep working on what you truly want, because it feels very positive to me. That's a lovely, very energetic reading. I hope things go well for you. I can see that they're going to. I think it's great. Just remember a balance between logic and intuition. Really lovely. Have a great day.